So I was gonna do this intro where I was gonna like be super dull and super mute, super deadpanned, and just to reflect the experience I had watching this movie and what it felt like to watch this movie. But I don't want to give you guys my karma, so I'm not gonna do that to you. I'm going to walk you through what this film experience was like with complete spoilers because I doubt that you've heard of this movie, and if you have, I doubt you have any interest in watching it. And not because I think I know you, but because even from the trailer, there was nothing here. My journey began back in November when I saw a trailer for the movie Do Not Enter. And the trailer reminded me of a movie called See No Evil, early 2000s guilty pleasure slasher with Kane, the wrestler, playing a serial killer who was murdering teenagers in a hotel. It turned out to be a guilty pleasure, kind of a bomb-ass movie, but it kind of sucks too. Nonetheless, this reminded me of that. Bunch of YouTubers sneaking into an abandoned hotel, trying to get a lot of views by doing something dangerous. And then there just so happens to be $300 million hiding in this hotel somewhere from some mobster that died and left it there. Well, that's dumb, but there's a creature they're not showing. And if they're not showing it, it's because it probably looks badass. It's probably awesome. Maybe it's a vampire. Maybe it's like a werewolf. Maybe it's some kind of demon. Maybe it's like a crackhead who's just been living there and doing so much like so many drugs all at once that he's like mutating into some kind of like methamphetamine monster or something. I don't know. I was like, whatever. I just want to see what it is. So I looked up the movie today thinking like, hey, it's probably going to come out soon. I should look. Turns out this movie came out March 20th, both on digital platform and in theaters. Now, I'm no expert. I am well read, but I'm no expert. But I know, for the most part, if a movie is both being dropped on digital and in theaters, the studio has no fucking faith in the film, and they just want to monetize as much and as hard as possible. That was a huge red flag, but nonetheless, I made them richer by renting the movie for $6.99 on YouTube. Now, I've already given you the setup. A bunch of YouTubers aren't getting the views that they want, so they decide to do something a little bit more dangerous and sneak into this hotel that has some cursed history and potential money. And along with them comes a reporter, or so he says. And we go on this exploration of, like, what are we looking for? We don't know. Let's just explore. They begin to be hunted by something. And it's feral, and it's angry, and it wants millennial blood. It wants them all dead. The first fuck you while watching this movie, by the way, before I get into that, the director of this has 158 music video credits under his belt. Kid Cudi, Kid Rock, David Guetta, Sum 41, Nickelback. The man is renowned and respected and beloved in the industry. So it explains why this movie feels like just a style over substance. And it's not even that there's a lot of style. It's just that it looks good. He lights this shit like he lights his music videos. Big fucking whoop. My man has 158 credits under his belt. He did not learn how to write a script. He did not learn how to adapt one either, because this was actually based on a book that came out in 2005. Certain things, when you read them, obviously hit more. Books are 9 out of 10 times better than the movie. But, you know, what makes them good is that what you imagine and the amount of detail, you know, you don't really miss it. You don't miss out on those details because you're reading the words verbatim. Where in a movie, there can be details in the background you'll never know unless you're really paying attention. You know, the pace is different. It builds less. Everything has to be constricted within like a, you know, hour and a half runtime. So I was already working against it, but this theme, this setup isn't super complex, so I don't know how he misfired so bad. So the first red flag in this film is our crew is trying to go into this hotel surrounded by a dead town, by the way, that we never explore. It does not matter to the director or the writer, not the author, but the writer of the script. It does not matter to them that we don't have any background as to how the fuck this entire town is dead. We're just here for the abandoned building, but whatever. So our crew who all I detest completely, because within the first 5 minutes they're already arguing and can't agree over something. I hate that trope so much. If you're a team, show us how well they work together, and then we will believe you when they start arguing. Don't just make them argue, because then I don't see the intrigue. How did these people come together if they're just arguing the first chance they get? I digress. Our team decides to sneak into this hotel through some tunnels. Diane, our main character, whose name is the only name I remember, decides, you know what, our way is blocked. And instead of trying to figure out an obstacle, try to figure out that obstacle, which there was a very easy answer to how to get around that obstacle, she goes, I'm going to go look for another entryway. So already we're doing the whole, like, we're going to split up in a sewer pipe with a bunch of different directions you can get lost in the dark by yourself. And no one goes, hey, you've seen horror movies, right? Don't do that. You've seen Scooby-Doo. Don't do that. No. They just let her go. This is the main character of the film. We don't see her for another 25 to 30 minutes. And where we find her is insane because it's such a gap in logic. But before we get there, the crew, within 30 seconds of her walking off, figure out how to get into the building, and they explore. And right out the bat, everything feels fucking wrong. Everything's too dark. There's a bunch of drop-off points. Listen, I love exploring. I'm no one to talk. I've done some pretty dumb shit just to see something cool. But at least light the shit well. Make it look cool. Make it look creepy. The most unique thing about this entire creepy hotel is that there's a crazy ass chandelier and there's a tree in the middle of the hotel with electronic devices hanging off of them. Probably phones from people who have come in and tried to explore the place. When we come back to our main actress, to our main character, Diane, she's in a bed surrounded by candlelight and a pentagram. Sure enough, it's something having to do with a satanic cult, because we just don't have enough of those movies. We need more. Turns out that there's a book, kind of like the Necronomicon, just sitting there, and it reads The Dark Manifest in beautiful fonts, because whoever the author was must shop at fucking Etsy and or must sell its shit on Etsy. It's so pretty. It's a fucking book from hell. Why is it pretty? They did not see Evil Dead, apparently. But she opens it up, and we get the exposition dump that whatever is in this building is a demonic entity that was risen by a cult and is looking for its wife so it could become whole. No one comes across this information intelligently. The book just falls on our lap, and she reads it to us because we're dumb and can't figure it out. Where the cult is, we don't know. The cult is never brought up. There is no other obstacle in this movie except for one other one. A rival group of YouTubers who decide to come to them at gunpoint asking where the $300 million are without verifying if they've even found it. So what do these guys do? Oh, you haven't found it? Okay, I'm gonna kill the only guy with a map of this entire fucking hotel and throw him 9 stories down to his death without verifying if he has the map or blueprint. Everyone in this movie is fucking stupid and hard to root for, and I just wanted them dead. At the very least, I was like, okay, so you're making characters that I'm not supposed to like because you're going to dismember them in fun ways. All right, cool. I'm with you. Let's do it. No one dies from the creature until 54 minutes into the fucking movie. 54 minutes. You got an hour and 31 minutes and you don't kill anyone till the end of the third act by the creature. But the people who do kill people are the most uninteresting fucking element of the story, which are rival YouTubers that don't even look like YouTubers. They don't look like they know the first thing about editing software. They just look like they cook meth right next to Heisenberg off the coast of fucking Texas somewhere, and they learned from whatever scraps he left in the fucking trash. They're just there to die. They do die in the dark. We don't really get to see how or why, but they die. Okay, now we're left with the shittiest batch of characters, all for one. Now, I'll take it back. There are 2 characters I like. One, the parkour expert. She is actually really cool. She's really nonchalant. She's really chill, really laid back. And she's the one that, like, she calls herself the key. She's the one that gets to hard places. and she can, like, you know, get to a control panel above a big gate or something to help them get through. She's like she's super limber, and she's like, they make it a point to make her seem like, you know, like fucking Prince of Persia, but it never really comes into play. So I don't know why I thought that would have been cool if they really utilized. They don't use her. I thought that she was going to run away from the creature and we were going to see her parkour her way to safety. We never get that. We never get that. Then the other character is the reporter. Turns out the reporter is not a reporter. He's looking for his wife, who was the reporter but got lost in the hotel. And he used them as an excuse to get into the hotel because he couldn't have done it by himself because he couldn't have found a way. All he had to do was fucking look for that tunnel and he would have been in. He's the greatest character of all. He's like he's like, you're surrounded by millennials. I know sometimes we're intolerable. And you got a boomer who's just like, hey, you guys calm down. You're arguing too much. Let's think about this. And he's the one that's like kind of figuring things out and fighting. He was supposed to be a side character. He's smarter than the entire fucking crew of idiots. He's the one figuring everything out and fighting back and getting feral and trying to keep everyone safe. So you know what you do with this character that you actually like and is redeemable? You make him sacrifice himself for the least redeemable characters in the entire fucking movie. And you know who that least redeemable character is? Your protagonist. The woman who woke up on a bed surrounded by a pentagram and candlelight, who put herself in a wedding dress. Are you lost? Because I was. She puts herself in a wedding dress that the demon, I guess, laid out for her so that they could get married, because demons love you wearing wedding dresses. She puts the wedding dress on, she carries the book over to the altar, looks at the demon, who, by the way, is just a guy doused in fucking sugar and fake teeth and an irregularly shaped head. That's what they think a demon looks like. An otherworldly deity and or entity from some cosmic realm, and he just looks like a guy who hit his head too hard and had an enlarged underbite. There is no creativity in any of this. And I'm like, you're the director, dude. I'm just some fucking loser in his bedroom talking about movies. You could have came up with so much more shit. And this is what you gave us. So the book she has, she hits him in the face and runs. A demon who, by the way, is supposed to be more agile and super strong, because they make it a point while she's reading the book that this demon that's being risen has agility and super strength. All he does is run on all fours and is still getting outran by a millennial chick whose fucking range is like 3 feet from the ground at waist level. Like, what the fuck? So she's running, he's running behind her. It's CGI. Can't even get the guy to run on all fours. You could have hired any stunt person. I know stunt friends. You could have hired them. It's CGI. It's CGI walking on all fours. And then the guy that we like, the one guy who has several brain cells functioning, decides to suddenly come out of the black, out of nowhere, run towards the demon, grab him, and throws himself off 9 stories down. He falls, kills himself, and the demon falls on a tree and dies. A demon is killed by a tree branch, ladies and gentlemen. That is the end of our movie. There is no false ending. There is no spectral thing coming out of this demonic host infecting anyone. No. Demons just die from tree branches, guys. That's it. That's what we came up with. Go back to music videos, homie. That shit was crazy. I sat through that. It just feels so low effort because I'm pretty sure, and I'm going to read the book because just out of pure curiosity, I'm going to read the book. Because there's no way that you have all this lore you could have built from. The history of the hotel. Why is it abandoned? What happened? Why are all these people gone? Why did the mobster die before he left $300 million? It just shows up at the end of the movie because happy endings, you got to get the money. That's it. We don't come across it on a clever way. It doesn't become a part of the story. It just shows up as a reward for me watching the movie, except I don't get the money. They do. That's it. The movie ends with them riding off into the sunset, recording another video, and the video that they made from this entire fucking endeavor got 30 million views. And no understanding of why the hotel was super abandoned, why the money was left there, who the mobster was, where'd the cult go? Why are there no cult members? Why did they leave the book there? Why is there a shrine? Why are they statues? Are these people crackheads? Or is this like is this a Hellraiser spinoff where people are, obsessed with understanding the other side? Why did we give rise to this entity? Why is he here? Why does he have to get married again? What? It's all wrong, guys. It's all wrong. So stay away from this movie. Do not enter. And I'm not gonna make the joke, do not watch, because someone already made it. But God, I want to. God, I want to. That's my review for today. Thank you for listening to me rant about this shit. And tomorrow, I feel like most certainly tomorrow's movie will be a winner. We're watching Exit 8 tomorrow, guys. So hopefully it's as good as the trailer gives. So that's it for me tonight, guys. Thank you for watching. And as always, I will see you at the movies.